And in YouTube, this is your man George Page coming to you live on YouTube. Now, as I like to say before I have you now, is I'm a professional bodybuilder, and this is one Miss Christa Bauch. Now, Miss Bauch was born behind the wall in East Germany, December of 1947. This was like maybe 2 years after the end of the war with Germany, and that's when the communists took over half of Germany, and they had the east and whereas the west. Now, before she got into bodybuilding, she was very a very active child. She was into music, dancing. She ride horses and ran in school. She also was studied as a masseuse, and she also worked as a swimming paramedic at the local pool. Now, at 27, she got married and had her first child. Now, her husband was really from west of Germany, and because of the laws in Germany, they had stayed there in the east for at least 5 years before they could legally move to the west. Now, at the time, her firstborn son was 5 years old, and then when he moved to West Germany, they had a daughter. Now, her husband worked for an engineering company out of Germany, and for a few years they were moving around a lot. And then by the time she had a third child, they moved back to Germany, herself, and so she helped have her children have better education and a stable life. Now, by the time they relocated back to Germany, she started to she was doing other sports, after her family traveled from places like Baghdad, Guatemala, Algeria, because of her husband's job. Now, at the time she competed in several local shows, and then eventually she got into bodybuilding. Now, her first competition was back in 1987 when she competed at at a show, and it was part of the NABBA. Now, NABBA is the National Association of Bodybuilding. I forgot how you say, but that's I forgot. I'll put in the description or something about it. But it's the NBA. It's like it's a National Bodybuilding Association, mostly over in Europe. Now, she competed in Germany, in the German and European and world world championships. In '88, she jumped to the WABBA, where she competed in overall European and won a title. And she also did couples. Now, back then, couples was when you had two bodybuilders, a man and a woman, and they did like a performance. Most time it's mostly done, in a few federations, but not much in America because, it's not that popular anymore. But it was very popular in a good part of the 80s and somewhat of the 90s. After that, she switched to IFBB level competition, where she took a second place in the German Nationals, which wasn't her best showing. And then she won the World Games and heavyweight title, which got her pro card. Now, by the 90s, she was in her first show, and that was a Miss International. And she was 43 at the time. And she took 4th place. But because she tested for performance enhancer, she was disqualified. And then after that, she suffered some other medical issues. One point, she had around 90, she had to have a vein removed from a leg. After that, she popped back and she competed some more. And once the medical issues was taken care of, and she competed at the Italian Grand Prix, which took 4th, which gave her qualification to compete her first Miss O back in '91. Now, she kept on going up through the 90s, and her best showing was back in '94 when she won second at the Canadian Cup Pro. And after '95, she retired. Now, this is the history of the show she did. Now, like I said, '87, she took second in the German championships. Then, in that same year, the Europa championship at the NABBA, she took second. Then took second at the World championships. Then the Europa championships at the WABBA, she took first. Then she took second at the German championships of of the IFBB Bowl in 1989, and like I said again at the World Games then in 92 she competed at the Jan Tana Classic and took 11th. 93 she competed at the Jan Tana Classic again, took 7th, and also she competed at the Miss which took 11th, I think 11th place. I think she didn't show one of them. Then her best show in '94 when she competed at the Canadian Cup, she took 2nd. Then in '94 she was at the Miss National, which Miss Olympia, which took 12th. And then her last show was the Jan Tana Classic in '95, which took 5th. Now, a little side about Miss Christa Bauch. I would say she's one of my favorite bodybuilders of all time. I have always had love for the bodybuilders from East Germany, such as Germany, Romania. It just seemed like the bodybuilders from those parts of the world just come with just pure muscle and size. I mean, you can tell this is the old picture from her, I think, at a Jan Tana show, and she was super shredded. And what I respect about her is, like many of the bodybuilders that came up in the good part of the '90s, she did not bend the knee to silicone. I mean, and that's just hard to do, because the good part of the '90s, a lot of the few bodybuilders were jumping, and because of that, what judges wanted to see, they want to see more feminine pleasing female bodybuilders. A lot of female bodybuilders were getting breast implants, but she stayed pure. Now, even after she retired, she still was busy. She trained still. Even now at 70, she still keeps herself in good shape. She's accomplished shooter. She does some what's called target shooting. She also arm wrestles. She's a renowned arm wrestler. She has some world championships, and she travels. And that also, yeah, I remember she has 4 children. Now I didn't, she had 3, but I think she had 3 children. And that makes her not just a mother, she's possibly a grandmother and maybe even a great-grandmother, which is, to tell you be honest, like I said, there's not a lot of bodybuilders who have children, but I'll tell you the truth, there's quite a few that do now. It's easy for, people say that, oh, she want to be a man and she misses out, but there's quite a few female bodybuilders who had children before they became bodybuilders, like Christa here, and some had even after they left bodybuilding. I'll probably make a list or something like that of who do and who don't, and I'll let you know. But Christa was just amazing, a great body. I think because her condition does not wanted what the judges wanted, so that's why she didn't do as good. There's quite a few bodybuilders who just came with great muscle, who were more about the sport than just about anything. And I was, like I said, I'm a big fan of hers. She has, if you ever do a Google search of Christa Bauch, she has plenty of videos, many photographs. They're just amazing. You'd be awed by her body. And she's one reason why I love abs of female bodybuilders. She had the greatest set of abs I ever see. I think I put in my top 5 of great abs. I mean, she's just amazing, and it's just like I said, you just look back on women like this and with fondness and just with awe. I mean, and you never will see someone like her again in the sport of bodybuilding, because the sport has changed. She was the first woman over 40 to be a professional bodybuilder. Back then, most female bodybuilders were like maybe, at the oldest was maybe 30 something, and the youngest was like somewhere in their 20s. But now there's quite a few female bodybuilders now who are 40 plus, and some even about 50 plus. But like I said, Christa, she was the first. And like I said, and I think I would call her, she's the first, no, not the first, she's the second, what we call Kruger female bodybuilder, or just a mom bodybuilder. She, in history, there's quite a few of them. If you ever fought a female bodybuilder, but Christa was one of those. And just an amazing body, and just, amazing class to work, and a classy woman. I used to follow her. She used to have a home web page, and sometimes I used to, talk back and forth with her, through her message board, and she was very, very, very approachable to her fans. I mean, but like I said, she's still going. She's still in great shape for a woman her age, and I've just, she put some people my age to shame. But like I said, she's a great bodybuilder, and if you follow me, you follow her. It's your man George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.